I'm gonna change zombies in the foreground to graves. In the background, there might be more zombies. Gecko could survive zombie apocalypse. Wingman won't be bitten by zombie.
I feel like Phoenix is dying first in a zombie apocalypse.
Because his personality.
His cocky attitude, and he just runs in.
Coming straight in. Trust me.
And whoever tries to cover him
Yeah.
dies second. Hi, my name is Suke. I'm a senior principal illustrator on VALORANT. My role in Chinese will be 高级首席插画师. I work on both marketing and character dev team. We work on the illustration art style for the game.
My name is Meier. I'm a principal visual designer. I've been at Riot for about 7.5 years. Been on VALORANT since we launched the game. We're here today. We're gonna be creating episodic stylized key art for VALORANT. We don't know what it is yet. There's a few options in there, but the idea is something kind of crazy in this Halloween-inspired key art with that VALORANT edge to it.
Yeah, gonna be a fake movie poster.
Fake movie poster for some type of horror genre. Excited to get into it.
Not sure how serious or how lighthearted it is yet, but yeah, let's see it.
And on that note, let's get into that trusty Timo hat. We have our options in here.
Excited. All right, let's see. Zombie apocalypse survivors.
All right.
All right, zombie apocalypse survivors.
That should be a fun one.
Yeah. Zombie theme. I was working on the zombie slayers when I was on League team.
Oh, okay,
so kind of familiar with that. Awesome.
Hopefully today you guys get a little glimpse into the creative process. This process could sometimes last months. It could sometimes last weeks. We're doing it in one day. It's gonna be sketchy. It's not gonna be as polished as you normally see when you log into the game. This is no indication that we're ever gonna do a zombie themed VALORANT anything. This is just a Halloween treat. There's no brief. Like, we're making up the brief right now. You know, a lot of the times when we start this key art process, we have creative directors helping us, brand managers, and then obviously a lot
producers,
of yeah, it's really all based on what the product is doing. So whether it's a new map, a new agent,
more gun skins,
new gun skins, there's a lot of parameters that we have to kind of work in when creating key art. Today we don't have any of those.
we don't have any limitation.
Yeah.
But we also, have to figure out a lot of things by ourselves.
We are our own brand managers today.
Right.
And so VALORANT has a naming convention for our episodes. I think we started with Ignition.
Yeah, Ignition.
And then they've kind of slightly changed, but the last part of the words always ends on this shun. Evolution. There's Revelation. With the zombie apocalypse, we could do something like Resurrection. Sounds like it makes sense.
Yeah. By the way, what does it mean?
Oh, like revive. It means like like bringing someone alive from the dead.
Okay. I don't mind that this part got recorded, since I'm not a native speaker.
So yeah, like if you're resurrected, like you're resurrected from the dead, right?
That's
kind of like
that sounds magical, like Frankenstein.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, resurrections sounds pretty cool.
Sounds very Halloween.
Yeah, very Halloween inspired. Thinking like a lot of red. I mean, VALORANT has a red color. I feel like that's pretty iconic. Is there a story we should try to capture in this? Did Sage go to revive someone on a full moon and something went wrong?
I might start from the keywords. Look some reference from internet.
Right.
And let's see what I get.
I think I'm probably just gonna start moodboarding, start grabbing inspiration from Pinterest, Behance, ArtStation, just start pulling together some cool stylized zombie apocalypse stuff. Just see if there's anything in there, just get that.
I'll start from some compositions, compositions, sketches, and probably generic, but it looks more like a posters, and we can start from there.
Yeah, I think that works.
I would definitely start from searching the keywords from internet. The first one would be apocalypse. Searching keywords to get some key visual element like apocalypse, probably some abandoned city,
I wonder if we could show like a map that's like crumbling or something, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like Fracture would be a good one. It has a lot of overgrown buildings, but it's all kind of crumbly and looks like it could fit into the post-apocalyptic world.
The first stage will be exploration. Just visualize a couple of keywords I had in mind. For example, what does zombie look like? What does the apocalypse look like? The most efficient tool will be searching from internet. So apocalypse, I see there's a lot of dust, colors, color keys, and survivors. What I get, the information, like their expression, it definitely feels like they experience a lot of hard times, so their expression is more serious. For the keywords, like say zombie, there's a lot of gray and green colors. We can consider that color as well, you know.
Or maybe like the orange
Corrupt-
comes in from like
corrupted.
the design elements, complementary.
Yeah, poisoned, corrupted colors. Definitely some survivors in the foreground. By the way, are you thinking about maybe it's like a B movie style? You know,
Oh, okay.
Kind of a cheap.
A little cheesy, a little cheese. Add some cheese to it. Yeah, that'd be funny. I like that.
cheesy element.
We look up some like retro horror movie posters.
Right.
Old school. I think retro is a good word for it. Retro horror posters. See what's out there. Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, The Shining. Oh yeah. Pet Cemetery. Evil Dead. There's some good ones in here. Oh, how did I forget about Scream? I'm a big fan of Alien. That's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Is it horror though? Is it more like action, suspense? Actual horror though, oh my gosh. I feel like The Ring is a classic. Favorite zombie movie would probably have to be 28 Days Later.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
Where they're like fast.
Yeah.
I think that takes place in London.
They're 1 and 2, right?
Yeah. There's like 28 Weeks Later, I think, is the sequel.
Oh yeah.
Do you know they're doing another one? 28 Years Later.
Right now?
Yeah, it's gonna come out like in the next few years. Yeah.
Okay. It's definitely exciting.
Yeah.
I think the first one was really impactful.
Yeah. They
28
like changed the
days
zombie
later, yeah.
formula almost like.
Yeah.
Oh, they could be fast.
They're really fast.
Army of Darkness. That's kind of a classic. I'm just looking at all the inspiration I pulled. I am seeing a lot of like orange colors. I mean, obviously Halloween is orange and gray and stuff.
I would call this stage as a thumbnailing, just brainstorming the ideas right after the exploration. I think that the first one is kind of classic survivor in apocalypse environment. The second one, I was trying to push the horror movie scene. There are a couple of big head, let's say they are protagonists, they're kind of frightened. And in the background, I'm not sure yet, but I guess it's a big zombie silhouette. It could be zombie-ized kale or whatever, right? It's big monster. The third one I'm thinking about, I will still use a survivor element, but they're fighting zombies directly. I think we're gonna start from this 3. I would draw a group of people here, group as a team with different silhouette, and of course with weapon.
Yeah, I'm currently just trying to find some cool fonts, gather this inspiration for some logo type treatments, and then Suke eventually will share some sketches with people, and everyone's just gonna like, if it's a typical meeting, everyone's like, good luck, Suke, choose the best one, because a lot of the times they're so good, it's almost hard to choose. You almost got to go back to the strategy of what you're trying to do and see what works best. In the case of like, if we're trying to showcase a new map, that map has got to be kind of like almost like the hero of the composition.
Well, usually the similar thing is going to happen twice. The first time is the people choose the sketches from the silhouette from the thumbnail. The second time is when the key art is done, people choose the treatment from Brandon. the visual design was pretty hard, but fun process.
Oh yeah, that's always fun. I do like to at least explore 2 or 3 options, solid, distinct directions. From there, you could kind of go down that variation route.
We gave people some preference. Personally, we think this one is gonna work better. Whatever they choose or not, we give the the preference. Yeah, by the way, this is the first time I directly face-to-face working with Brandon. You know, we were kind of working through the internet in past years.
Yeah, the whole pandemic, really.
Yeah, it's
basically.
kind of exciting.
Yeah. I think I started about 2.5, 3 weeks before the pandemic started.
Yeah.
On Valorant. So I was in the office. I think Suke was in the office for, we had like maybe
we
2 or
just
3
met
weeks.
once.
Yeah, we
Right,
might have
this
met
is,
once
actually
right before the pandemic started.
Second or third time.
Yeah. But I mean, we've collaborated, you know, closely this whole time.
Exactly.
And, yeah, it's kind of fun to be in person working together.
Yeah. Yeah, usually if we released a new agent, it's a big teamwork. You know, a lot of people, awesome people behind that. There's an agent concept artist. For maps, there's an environment artist, and there's a big group and a narrative team, you know, figuring out the world building behind the story. A big teamwork. Yeah. That actually goes to concept route. After that, character team gonna work on the modeling. And animators work on the animation. The whole big team called the character team, you know, people are the heroes behind the agent. And we, as marketing team, we figure out what does it look like and helpful on the branding. By the way, if you're more interested about the other disciplines, you can check out the first 4 episodes. Link is in the description.
Our dev friends and partners, you know, once they have a firm grasp on what the new agent is going to look like, we come in there and we basically put that final wrapper on whatever that new thing is for Valorant. Every time a player logs into the game, the first thing they see is the art that, you know, Suke and I worked on. Stuff's got to look good. And it's got to like hype you up to get into the game, you know?
Right.
Like you're loading into the game and you're looking at this beautiful key art, you know?
Ready to fight.
Yeah.
Brendan, I'm gonna show you some of the ideas, and we are gonna take a look together.
Nice.
So let me show you some of the ideas.
Ooh, is that Viper?
Yeah, there's Viper in the background, and the lower part, you know, a lot of zombies.
Okay.
You know, a lot of zombies, and the foreground gonna be the protagonist. They are running away from the disaster. You know, the zombie running away from zombies, and of course they look way more frightened. This is a kind of more comedy scene, you know, because I'm imagining whoever running away from that, like for example, Brainstorm, gonna be he's supposed to be a tough guy, right? He's running right.
He's
now.
like running away with like fear in his eyes.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
What is Viper's pose like? Is it like is that her back? She's kind of turned, or?
Yeah, she's a back facing the camera. We only see the side view.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because
that adds like a little.
Yeah. The brushstroke is not as accurate as before, but yeah, it's basically the idea. Viper looks giant.
And is that some of her smoke coming out?
Right. The whole scene gonna be really green. It looks really green.
Okay.
And the second one, I'm gonna try the one you just mentioned as well about reviving goes wrong.
Right.
And this is the second one. The second one.
The last revive.
Yeah. So this one is about, you know, a lot of our protagonists. There's a lot of big head, you know. They're kind
Movie
of scary.
posters, big heads.
Yeah.
We need giant heads.
And
People need to know who's in the movie.
Yeah. They might pretty nervous as well.
Yeah.
This one goes a little bit more serious. And in the background, I'm not sure yet, but for now, I think it's, let's say, KO, right? KO. But guess is supposed to be a robot, right? But he gets a zombie. What is it called? Zombie-ized? Zombie. It's more like
Zombified.
Zombified.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
A lot of different people. And this is the last one. And the last one is kind of a classic. Classic. You know, survivors.
Yep.
You know, fighting a lot of zombies here.
Oh yeah. This would make for a good poster too. I think you could, if you wanted to, even put like a big Viper or Sage in the background, you know, similar to that first concept. But this feels like it would, you know, given our time frame, be the one.
Right now, the idea is more like in the background, it's a mushroom cloud. I'm not sure yet, but for now, it's like a mushroom cloud.
You could probably even add some like little tiny zombies in the background, kind of like coming towards them.
Yeah.
Or even like almost surrounding them all. Like they're all back to back fighting for survival.
Yeah. And a little more, just
Right.
busier.
Yeah, I dig it.
I'm gonna. Should we try one more thing about the sage one?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say maybe this was the one with Sage, because she does that move where she when she reses someone, she goes like she brings their arm up. I'll show you. There's a Power Fantasy player card for Sage.
Okay.
But she's basically she's doing her thing where she reses someone because that's her ultimate ability.
I think I saw that one as well. She there's a big effects right in
Yeah. That could be dope.
Could you share your idea again about the sage reviving?
Okay, yeah. So I'm calling it Sage's last revive. She went to revive someone on a full moon. Something happened and they came back a little different. Maybe how she resed someone didn't work out. Something went wrong. Maybe Reyna cast a spell on her. Who knows, right? We're just making this up as we go. But resurrected maybe someone on her team and they became a zombie. Or that's something happened and she started the zombie apocalypse and she's the only one that could stop it.
I got two rough ideas based on this. The first one is Sage is a little bit surprised and nervous about that because she feels like she's messed up, right?
Right.
Kind of a comedy element.
Yeah.
Another one is epic. She just summons a lot of. She looks evil here.
Ooh, that could be good. Like maybe she's the one who summons the army. Like maybe Sage turned evil at some point in her life.
Kind of. let's try that and. Then we have more options, and based on that, let's see which one has more potential.
I like where this is going. I mean, I think maybe
this is the first idea. We all know that first idea always goes better.
Yeah, it's true. That's why we got to get it out first.
Yeah.
Dude, these are cool, Suke.
Thanks, man.
I don't know how you do this every time. Yeah, I'm kind of messing with some resurrection logo types and type work and going real cheesy with choosing fonts.
Let's go cheesy first.
Okay, yeah. We'll go cheesy, and then we'll see if we could take the cheese and add it to the Valorant edge.
Yeah.
On Valorant, we have like a lot of brand fonts that we use, and so whenever I start to work on a logo type for like a new episode or a new act, kind of want to stay within those brand fonts and then figure out a way to maybe modify them to feel unique to the episode. And so there's a lot of custom line work kind of goes into branding a new episode and act. It needs to feel as close as possible to the brand, but still feel unique and special and new. Kind of show some here on the screen real quick. I worked at an internship when I was going through college. I went to school for graphic design at a California State College. My first design gig was at the Sacramento Convention and Visitors Bureau. Their whole goal is to get tourism to come to Sacramento. I think the very first thing I ever did was a poster for the convention center, and it looks so, I remember I saw a photo of it recently, and I was just like, oh my God, what was I thinking? But it was about recycling. It was just a sign that was supposed to encourage people to recycle. I would have done it completely different today, but I think when I did finish it, I was pretty proud of it. I also had some hard labor jobs. My dad was a miner, and so when I was in college, I would come home and he was able to get me a job in this mining facility on the side of a mountain where I would stand at a machine. I'd put a bag on a machine. It fills up to like 60 pounds of this white rock powder, and then you throw it on a pallet. You fill that pallet up with like 20-something bags, and you push it down a belt, and you did that all day. If you are like an inspiring designer, do passion projects. Personally, I went to school, I got my degree, I did all my work. I was always a gamer. But I had no idea how to get into the industry. And so I started creating fan art for video games, just for fun, for myself. I did some art for The Last of Us that I wanted to put on my walls for a game that I really enjoyed. And as it turned out, other people liked it too, and it was eventually licensed and sold on official merch, and then from there I shared it online. It eventually gained momentum, and people saw it, and people in the industry started to take notice. That's kind of how I got into the game industry. I don't think I would have been here if I didn't have that passion for games and kind of seek it out. So a recruiter at Riot reached out to me, and they're like, hey, we noticed you're a fan of video games, but you don't work in the video game industry. I was like, yes, I'm listening. I was working in action sports. I was senior brand designer at GoPro. A lot of different billboards. I did their style guide, brand identity kit. It was still good work, and it was where I've always wanted to be. I was like, that was awesome. I did it, you know, but like at the end of the day, I'm still going home playing video games with my friends every day. Nice. And once I realized I could work in the gaming industry, I was like, this is where I actually want to be. Like, it's weird to say, but yeah, this is like a dream job. It's kind of crazy. My biggest advice is to people are wanting to get into the game industry is do work that you're passionate about. And I think eventually you're going to be where you want to be just based on those passions.
First job got paid, but the first one I really enjoy is definitely from Riot. It was a long time ago. Back in 2010, I would say. I was a big fan of Dota, so I did some fan art. Riot reached out to me.
Wait, you got your start with fan art too?
Yeah.
Okay,
fan art,
okay. Yeah. So that's.
It was a login screen. If you go back to the first Dota, the free one, the Dota 1, I would say. My dream was like my art can be seen by a lot of players worldwide.
Oh, and they see it. They see it now.
Yeah.
Between League and Valorant.
Yeah, and one little funny thing that because my English, you know, I introduced myself. I'm a designer, but I think I wrote it wrong. You know, I started myself as a landscape designer, you know, but I said my landscaper. So people said, oh, that's such a great story. Think about that landscaper right now working with us. So anyway, that was a good memory.
So you were recruited then?
What does it mean? Recruited?
Riot reached out to you.
Yeah. Invited me here.
Same thing happened. Someone from Riot emailed me once, and I was like, Riot Games? Wait, Riot Games?
Nice. During that time, I got emailed. I do research on this game. So after I played this game, I feel, wait, it's actually really fun. You know, I wanna put more effort on that one. Yeah, that's how it started. Speaking of that, a lot of people ask me, how do you get hired at Riot? Do you have any suggestion about how to prepare the portfolios? And I said, I never really prepared the portfolios. I have no idea about that. But speaking of that, I do have some suggestions. You know, if you wanna have a good portfolio, it's good to be more specific. I have a feeling that if the work to be more specific, you know what you want to do. That's the most important. Yeah, I moved here in 2013 in September. I still remember the date. Actually, while I just joined in Riot, I was mainly working on the teamfight key arts for League.
Those are the big ones with like Baron, and they're all kind of like...
the Baron one.
Yeah, I remember those.
First one was the season 1 key art. I even don't have the original art. I only have the really low-res version.
I'm just kind of looking at different ways to execute a zombie apocalypse logo type within the Valorant IP. Keeping that bold Valorant logo lockup style, but maybe putting some grit on it, looking at how we could kind of make it feel just a little more Halloween, and just playing with type. This changes drastically once, you know, Suke will toss me over some thumbnails or even some versions of the key art. Once I get that in, you know, that might impact everything, or it might just propel a version forward, and those pieces just connect perfectly. When we were working on Revelation, that whole episode was really interesting because Suke's final illustration had a lot of circular design elements, which at the time kind of helped showcase the story that was happening in Valorant, which was our agents were unlocking this new map called Lotus. In that cinematic, Harbor puts his hand into this lock, and these circular design elements kind of start popping up and opening up essentially the map to players. And then Suke's illustration, he did a lot of circular line work. And so once that kind of came to me, I was like, okay, we got a really strong circular motif going that we could kind of play off of this idea of unlocking a new map. And so that pretty much informed a lot of the shape languages that we designed for that entire episode. I could sometimes work tandemly with Suke, but sometimes he will come out of the blue with something amazing that just sparks so many other ideas. And sometimes it's the reverse. I think in episode 3 with KO, I was like, what if we try something with our attacker defender colors with like red on one side and green on the other? And Suke was like, yeah, that's dope. Let's do it. And so he basically changed up the color palette of the design based on like an idea I had, which was pretty rad, you know, just kind of going back to how we kind of collaborate. So yeah, depending on the process, where we're at in it, either of us could kind of impact each other in a way that kind of sparks a new idea into a new direction. When Suke and we worked together very closely. Outside of work, I ran into him once at what was it, like a flea market? What's the big one? The Rose Bowl, yeah. I randomly saw Suke at the Rose Bowl once, and I went and tapped him on the shoulder, and he was like, "What the heck?"
It was funny.
I met your kids and your wife. It was so random, but like that was, I think, the first time I really saw you like outside of work.
Outside of work.
It's kind of a funny situation. We do have team game nights. I think early on, when Valorant first started, we were really into them. We'd get down on some team game nights.
We actually do huddle a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we will.
Just, a lot of random questions about design, about the illustration itself, and just some art discussion. It was pretty fun because we don't have to be face to face to solve this type of problem.
And like we don't ever feel like we need to like schedule meetings.
Right.
It's just always like, hey, let's huddle. Let's talk about this real quick and like hash it out. And
sup, dude? Huddle? Yeah. Let's do that. I enjoy this type of work style. Really efficient, honestly.
Especially when you get like two people that are both, into their craft, and they're people that, do their best work kind of almost heads down. You still need to come up and collaborate and work together. We're contributors and as individuals.
And something I really like working with Brendan is that sometimes we share thoughts and feedbacks is pretty straightforward, and we don't need to think about, okay, am I hurting Brendan's feeling or Brendan is hurting my feeling? Don't need to really concern about that too much. We just focus on the craft thing, how to make this more efficient. I enjoy the work style.
Absolutely. Kind of remove the ego and just focus on the craft, making it as dope as possible.
All right, so the three characters, Gecko may be too tall. I will change him a little bit shorter.
Okay.
But the first one definitely Brimstone, and the back one will be, let's say, Deadlock.
You still getting a Sage in there?
Yeah, Sage is in the background. Sage is kind of.
All right, I'm gonna put Deadlock in there.
Because right now I'm mainly focusing on character silhouette. So right now, to me, the most efficient thing is not really focus on any details. I would really focus on playing with the silhouette. And after that, once I'm happy with the silhouette, I will start adding more lightings, which is gonna be next step. But I will add some lighting here, roughly. So you see generally side lighting from here, but the face, there's nothing there, not much detail. I can always add details later, right? For example, I'm using the shapes to try to lock down his pose. The good thing is, if the pose doesn't work, I didn't spend too long, I still have a lot more time to change. What if, let's say, right now I'm not happy about his pose, I immediately change to another one. So it's just fast. It gives you more opportunity to play with your ideas.
I just threw your illustration in here, and it's already like feeling good.
All right.
So I got some
dude.
The last revive, and I threw it in there, dude. It kind of feels pretty good. When I originally put it in there, it felt like kind of small, but I think the scale of a poster, this feels like a good scale, right?
Yeah, it looks really good. Here it's supposed to be zombie, but right now it feels like graves. I think it looks pretty good. I think I can even make it as graves as well.
Oh yeah, you mean like tombstones almost? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that could be rad.
Yeah, the greens are cool too. Maybe they just get like desaturated a little bit, and then you have like different little pops of green coming in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Feel free to try any option. I might try some making the green more saturated.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I want to focus on the adding more detail to Sage. Right now, Sage and the pose haven't really polished it yet.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
Cool. Looks really good. You just working on that today?
Yeah. I was putting
Okay.
together all like the
Okay.
type and like
Wow, well,
the
I
fake
was
the fake
struggling.
movie credits.
Nice.
Yeah, I had some other type options, but or logo options. I just don't think they're that like as cool as that though. There was like
The credit is really random credit. Or
yeah, they're
whatever.
just like placeholder credits,
Okay,
right?
okay,
You could do
okay.
like something cool with that one, maybe, but I don't know. I
Well,
think
if you want to do that,
I think this one's better.
yeah, this one is better. But if you want to do that one, I can make a sunrise.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, we might be able to add that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think where you're
Some
headed is
options.
right. This starts to feel like an explosion back there, and Sage is doing the
Right,
res
right,
kind of
right.
Or maybe she's
Sage right now, definitely. Sage is definitely the bad guy.
yeah. Yeah,
All right.
it's epic.
Cool.
It's looking good,
cool.
man.
I'm excited. I'm gonna do some adjustment. Definitely want to polish Sage a bit more.
You get some like some good rim light going too.
Right. Well, the art goes good. Feeling gets better.
Nice.
True artist. I'm gonna change zombies in the foreground to graves.
Okay.
Graveyard. In the background, there might be more zombies.
Yeah, I like that. I might be able to find like just like some zombie silhouettes too that I could kind of like place in there.
Yeah, sure.
As a visual designer, I've never felt like a real artist. I'm inspired by other people's art, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of got into graphic design. Is essentially you're helping amplify, and you're working with a lot of other people's art. I always try to tend to stay away from calling myself an artist and stick with designer. I actually find it like more interesting because you're actually solving more problems when you're working with like a team of people, because everyone has different goals they're trying to accomplish, and the challenge is more interesting because it's more confined, it's more focused, and within that focus you have to still be creative. There's no when you're making art for yourself, I can only imagine it's like you're just doing whatever you want, like, and maybe you're trying to like convey a feeling of something, but when you're creating art that is meant to serve a purpose, to inspire players or to evoke some type of gameplay fantasy, that starts to feel like a bigger thing than working just solely for yourself.
Brandon, you're too modest. You're a real artist. I can confirm you're a real artist. Yeah, to me, artists working with and collaborate with other artists versus working by themselves. I mean, either could work. Either has some fun part. It's just like what I mentioned. If you work on your own work, figuring out things by yourself, there's definitely a lot more freedom. But the thing is, if you working with other artists, you got inspired by other artists, and it's a pretty good opportunity to learn from other artists, which is a part I love the most.
Yeah, that's true. When I started Riot, I would get files or splash art for League, and I'd open up those files. I'd look at all the layer structures, and I feel like just by being around other artists at Riot, you just
Very
start to level
inspirational,
up.
right?
you, like inspiration's just palpable. Everyone's doing something amazing everywhere you look, and
Right.
you can't help but like start to pick that up and play off of all that energy.
Exactly. I said this is a gecko. I want him has some interaction with his buddy, little buddy.
Yeah, Wingman kind of became our little mascot. How would Wingman survive a zombie apocalypse? I think he just clapped those zombies back. he just keep like shockwaving them out of the way. If he has a spike, I know he knows how to plant a spike, so maybe he just like drops the spike on him and then bounces and nukes the town. Oh, that could be the backdrop of the town. Instead of a nuke, it's the spike explosion.
I think a wingman, well, to me, a wingman doesn't, it won't be hurt, even though he got beaten. It should be totally fine. Yeah, that's my first reaction.
Oh, his little creatures can't turn into zombies, so they protect Gecko. Okay, yeah, that's I like it. I like that. It's not bad. Can KO turn into a zombie? I mean, he's a robot. I mean, maybe he's infected. Maybe he gets infected with a zombie virus.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think KO stands a pretty good chance.
Right.
Breach, his fake metal arms. Like, if he gets bit, like, he's got his arms.
If you beat my arm.
Yeah, that's fine. Just push the zombies off. I'm calling the movie The Last Revive. I'm trying to think of some good, corny B movie taglines for the poster. Like,
oh, cool.
Like, it could be something like, "You're only revived once," you know, or like, "You're only dead once," or "You're never dead twice." I don't know, it's so stupid.
I love it. It brought me back a lot of good memories. When I was little, I watched some B movie. Yeah, love it.
I kind of grew up on the 90s X-Men TV show. That was my jam. I always wanted to draw Wolverine, the X-Men squad, like my favorite. I mean, I still have a printed Jim Lee, I believe it's like the Uncanny X-Men issue 1, where it had like a bunch of different covers. Jim Lee was always a big inspiration to me, his comic books. And
oh, that's why you were so happy that you can collaborate with.
Yeah. So we
cool.
eventually, for the launch of Pearl, there was a comic shop in Pearl, and working with our creative directors, they came up with an idea to make a bunch of fake Valorant comic book covers to showcase that the Valorant agents in the Omegaverse were heroes. They were essentially the X-Men of that universe. You know, they were kind of known heroes, like an athlete. They had statues of them. So, you know, it goes without saying they would have comic books. And so we actually got to work with Jim Lee to create a fake Valorant comic book cover. And then I got to do all the graphic design on it, which was probably a dream project. I mean, it was.
I didn't know that. Now I know why you were so happy.
I remember you were saying, you're like, oh, you're like, Jim Lee? Jim Lee should be lucky to work with you. And I was like, get out of here, Suke.
Don't record this, Mark. Speaking of the art influence, I started drawing from my dad. So when I was little, I drew a lot of Transformers already. I had a lot of fun. A lot of good memory with Transformers. And I still remember one of the toys cover that completely impressed me, and I copied the work. And a couple days ago, I saw the artist on Instagram who posted the art. I recognized that's the one I copied. It was, I think it was 30 years ago. And I left a comment. I rarely left a comment on Instagram, but I left a comment. Were you the original artist?
Did he get back to you?
Yeah, he said yes.
Oh, sick.
That's pretty good. That's enough to me.
So one of the things I like to do once I get Suke's work is I like to mess it up and change the colors.
Do it.
And see what I could do. My process is so much iterative in like trying out things, adjusting color values. I'm not necessarily painting in the sense that an illustrator would paint. I'm basically taking the art and applying huge global color adjustments to find this image in my head. And so one of the things I really like to do is get into the selective color adjustments, and you could literally just choose pretty much some primary values of colors. I like to start with either like the darks or the lights, and once I've selected basically all the dark values, I could kind of go in there and start to mess with those colors and just see how composition could change just by quickly adjusting color values with hue saturation, selective color adjustments. There's a lot of different ways to just look at changing the color on an image very fast. Quickly looking at some of these pre-existing gradients that I've used for other projects. Like this is a gecko color palette being quickly applied to this. It doesn't look great, but you could kind of get a sense of how quickly you could look at adjusting colors, right? This one felt pretty cool. I think we use this color palette for all the LA stuff, like the LA map and a few other things. Color is very weird, especially with our Valorant red. It's like a Valorant magenta, really. I've heard people call it the Valorant pink. It looks different on every single monitor, and it's really tough to kind of stay consistent with it just because every monitor is different. Every screen is different, you know. The best we could do is try to keep our screens as calibrated as possible. One little secret tip I like to do is all our iPhones are pretty well calibrated. If you could just send an image to your phone, look at it on your phone, look at it on your screen, and you could kind of get a sense that a lot of people have iPhones. iPhones are very well calibrated. You hold it up next to my screen and then just see if it like feels drastically different, you know, or if I need to like adjust some things. There's definitely been times where I was maybe like in a wrong Photoshop color profile and I exported it out, sent some stuff out, and then I saw it get posted. I'm just like, oh my God, what happened? You know, like the colors are so wrong.
At this stage, I will start to play with some lighting. For example, right now, if I want to push Sage to be a bad guy, then I will probably use some bottom lighting to emphasize she's more dangerous. But if I think Sage right now, I want to change her to be more good guys. I might design her a little more heroic lighting, which the lighting is from side view or even from the top. So she looks more like summoning holy light, things like that. It's a pretty interesting stage. There's a lot of options we can play with. And the foreground characters, we use rim light to adding more clean shapes, clean edges to emphasize the style. So adding more rim light to Brimstone and the other characters to make the foreground pop out more. When I was little, my dad teaching art classes for kids at my age. I've learned some art process, how to draw, so I was asked to draw with other kids, teach them how to draw. That was my first job.
Wait, how old were you?
But I didn't
Like a
get
kid?
paid. Yeah, I was like kid, 8, 9 years old, you know?
Oh my God. Teaching classes, teaching other people how to draw. Like
Yeah, other kids
Yeah,
my
okay.
same age.
You're like at a college university as a 9-year-old.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I uprise the work from 7 to 300. You know, it gets very blurry, some of the detail. You know when low res gets
Yep.
magnified.
So yeah, I've been basically iterating on Suke's key art, trying different crops out, trying different colorways, looking at how we could kind of turn this into different assets. Is there like a version that is more like our traditional key art, like when you log into the game, adding some like texture, smoke, sparks, bringing that movie magic to it, playing with different layouts and colorways? I think the plan is just kind of get the general layout kind of locked, make sure the general composition feels clean, and then we could start adding those little extra textural elements that amplify this idea of pushing away a horde of zombies. There's a lot of different little things we could do in there, but there's also part of it is also making sure it kind of still feels like Valorant, you know?
Right.
And that is with some of that graphic design.
I would say, considering the timeline, the scope, right now is getting the polish stage. This is also the perfect time to add more input, some reference from Brandon. I know they're not zombie, but I need to see what does the group of people look like, borrowing the crowdy feeling, put in the background, so it feels there's more information, more things happens in the background. At this stage, it's good to also play with some Valorant-specific styles for Valorant. For example, you know, in Valorant, we usually play with the small shapes like lines, shapes. It's usually formed by rectangle and triangles. When you look at the detail, if you want to make it a style more Valorant, keep in mind using less circle shapes, round shapes, curvy shapes. It's mainly triangles or rectangles formed by variant angular shapes. So if you want to make the art look more Valorant, it's good to keep in mind there's a shape language specifically for Valorant. For example, when you look at the small shapes, it's formed by mainly rectangle and triangles, especially triangles. It's very important, very iconic for Valorant. Usually one key art, there's tons of assets, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
I forgot, like 20.
Oh, it just
20.
keeps going up and up.
Right.
You know, this stuff will eventually end up on, you know, every single video we do for an episode and act launch. There's an end card, there's a logo bumper, and so you know, when you finish a Valorant cinematic at the very end, the Valorant logo slides in. That's usually themed to the key art and the essentially brand identity of the episode and act. Any of the videos we kind of put out, that key art kind of wraps it all up and helps put you in the moment. But that's not where it ends. There's all our social media headers get updated. The box art that you see on Twitch and YouTube, that needs to be updated. There, you know, the list goes on and on. You know, vendors, partners, regional teams, they take this key art and they build out activations on, like live in person based around this art. Ultimately, the design kit that I will build off of the work that we kind of do here. Back in the day, you know, you go to Blockbuster and you're looking for a movie or a video game to rent, you're basing it off the box art, right? And I think the same thing is still true today with Twitch. When you go to Twitch to browse games, the box art's still important. You know, that's still going to be the thing for some people, what brings them in to maybe watch Valorant for the first time.
Rimlight is designed to emphasize the bold shapes because there are a lot of blocky shapes. If you only look at the shapes, the audience might easy to lose some visual interest, catch their eyes, to be fun to look at. So creating this streamline will efficiently to separate the different projects.
It is essentially
The objects, yeah.
making it pop.
Right.
The dreaded term of make it pop, which we're doing naturally.
Yeah.
You know.
They all kind of experience some hard time, right? They all kind of trained agents, and at this moment it looks pretty hardcore, right? So we use a high contrast to create the dramatic moment. It's perfect.
Sometimes, like with every episode, we'll try to create unique graphic shapes that play together well with whatever's happening in the story, whatever maybe Suke kind of created, maybe like his key art kind of started to form like a triangle that looks like a portal that we could kind of turn into a graphic element for design. So for right now, I'm just choosing our defender icon. We have two different like icons that you see up in the UI when you're playing the game, attacker, defender, a cool graphic shape that could play off this idea of defending yourself in a zombie apocalypse.
In the whole process, I would recommend to keep the layers as simple as can be. For example, we can always consider, especially multi-characters composition, keep the main layers as a 3 group, a foreground, midground, and background. So whatever we do, we can do the type of adjustment, and we can do some treatment in the background. For example, make the whole background a little bit darker, a little bit brighter, also can do that. So it's more flexible and it looks more unified. And the midground is definitely the one that we want to work the most. Whatever you put in the midground, the main characters, give this layer more love. Top layers, it's mainly, for example, now I put more design as top layers. I consider this either this is reap shapes or grave, but they're all foreground. We can separate the layer and remove it anytime. The goal is emphasize the depth of the image, and we can consider this group as foreground zombies as well. Do you know? I was a sculpture major. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I was a sculpture major. About the landscaper thing I talked about earlier, it was because I did some freelance work, but my major was sculpture. I think it really helps me to understanding forms, structures, and the lighting a lot. It's really helpful. Like in VALORANT, the way I emphasize the lighting is completely just a sculpture observation method. For example, when I try to draw a character, especially a VALORANT character, the first thing I would definitely think about is not to make the characters more appealing or pretty. I would care about the forms the most. If you want to make it very pretty, you want to make the lighting, the contrast good enough. You might lose some opportunity to make the shapes look three-dimensional, enough depth. How we evaluate a graphic design to be done or not, every shape should have the goal. There shouldn't be too much random shapes. For example, if I want to polish this part, it shouldn't be a lot of transparent colors. We don't do this. We don't do transparent colors overlay. It doesn't look clean. So I want it as clean as it can be because that's our visual pillar we want to push. We don't use airbrush that much. If in a key art there's a clearly airbrush, it looks unfinished to me. So yeah, that's a couple of key visual elements.
When is something finished? It's tough sometimes because we want to keep pushing on it for as long as we can. Eventually, we got to just choose a direction. I know, like, when Suke and I will both share work to our team, obviously we always use like strategy. We're always like focused in on the brief and what we're trying to accomplish. And if everything's accomplishing the brief, then it becomes kind of subjective. And that's where it can sometimes be kind of hard to choose that final option before you kind of go into polish.
Yeah.
People will just be like, oh yeah, good luck, choose one. I mean, but if
Yeah,
they're all
speak of that.
accomplishing the goals, then
Yes. There's always some artist input, 95% is pretty objective, 5%, the rest of the 5% will really depend on different artists. If they feel they have their personal aesthetic that they want to add, I think that's artist's call. You can enjoy one more night, etc.
there's been a few times where Suke will be like, all right, I think this is final. He sends me the final. And then the next day he's like, actually, I changed a few things. I'm like, that's all right. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it happened a couple times. It was, all right, here's a PSG.
All right. You want to see what
Yeah.
I've been cooking up?
Yeah. Nice. Love it.
Yeah, I'm excited to get your art in there and see what else we could do.
I like the middle one a lot.
Yeah, that's closer to what we kind of do with the negative space, having that clean backdrop and then just kind of building out. Like the buildings have been destroyed, there's rubble.
It could be a mushroom cloud. If you need me, I mean,
yeah,
only
yeah.
if you
I see what you're
need
saying.
me, we can make it a mushroom cloud and even polish rim light a little if you want. But I don't know if that's what we want. We want to give player a couple of different versions.
Oh, this is good though. I can't believe you just made this. This is so sick. I like the extra kind of lighting that's kind of happening. That's cool.
Yeah, you're coming through the different environment.
The ooze from the ribs. Oh, that's awesome.
Do you have the layers?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can turn
Oh,
it
okay,
into
nice.
just a layer. Yeah,
Perfect.
There's a couple of.
Yeah. If I need
This
to
is
kind
a
of
classic version. The
Gotcha,
classic
right there,
version.
yeah. Oh, this looks so good.
How many assets we wanna give players?
As many as possible. The wallpapers, the phone papers, the backdrops. All right. Well, I'm gonna probably start putting this into layout and just. You think I just focus on this one? You think?
You need a ring light?
No. I could use what you have. I'll put all the art in there, and I should be able to kind of.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. See, I love the smokes there.
This is kind of me quickly mocking it in. We quickly talked about like we probably wouldn't use an airbrush. The smoke kind of almost starts to conflict with the flat blocky style. Like
this is a movie poster.
Right, yeah. But we're doing movie posters, so it's a little different. We can get away with that kind of stuff. Also, like I think adding like
That's a revive.
this,
I love it.
the sparks and that's just like a staple of the movie poster, bringing in that like little bit of energy and flair to kind of bring you in and add to that like, chaos. But even just clean, I mean, that is so epic. Dude, you
Yeah. We're getting there, right?
Yeah.
Getting there.
put it into this layout. I think this is kind of the one that's more of our usual Valorant style with the 16:9 crop.
Yeah.
I got it in there, messing with the color. I think both kind of work.
Yeah.
What do you think about this line? Never back down until you're dead again. That's it's bad. I know.
I love it. I mean,
Okay, yeah. It's bad in a good way. Cool. I think we could call it here. The idea that we would take this further, we would go a lot further. We would probably do a lot more iterations on color. We'd turn this into like, I think we talked about it before, this gets converted into about probably like 50 different art pieces. And
one more thing. Sorry.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want a sage earring as green color.
Oh,
so the background is gonna
okay.
pop out the little.
Watch this. I got you. We take that gradient map and just knock it out.
But yeah, it's basically we did it really fast already. No, that's it, man.
There we go. Advice for up-and-coming designers: start getting in there, get your hands dirty, watch those YouTube tutorials, learn the techniques early on. I think in probably both of our careers, we tried to mimic the stuff that we liked or we were inspired by. So, having that passion and just continually pushing yourself, pursuing it, always look at ways to kind of improve your process, just keep getting better and you'll get there.
For whoever the audience or aspiring artist willing to join the game industry, practice how do you visualize something in your mind. That's the most fun thing as an illustrator, I would say. And for the craft technique, I would say I really care about lighting in the art, whatever the style is, and it helps you form the shapes and the structure clearer. You can really try to get familiar with sculpture. You can start with some really soft clay and try to form some shapes and put it under the lighting. Then you will see change and understanding the three-dimensional stuff. And when you try to draw that one on the picture, you will see something differently.
If you want to see more of my work, I'm on Twitter or X as Brandon Meier. I also am on Instagram as Brandon Meier Made.
非常高兴这个游戏在中国成功上线了，然后很多人很喜欢这个游戏，然后我自己也非常喜欢，非常开心看到玩家这么享受这个游戏。然后作为核心的美术成员吧，我也非常愿意给大家分享这美术方面的知识。然后这个其实就是一个开始。当然我们现在因为是对全球播放，所以还没有中文的那个讲解，但是有中文字幕，希望大家也很喜欢，也 enjoy 这个视频。然后现在是万圣节，所以祝大家万圣节快乐，拜拜。And if you want to see more of my work, you can check out my Twitter and Instagram and the ArtStation account. If you want to see more of my process, you can check out the videos on my YouTube channel.
Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you got some insight into how VALORANT Key Art is born, made, and some of the processes. Hopefully you guys learned some cool new techniques and you could apply those to some of your art going forward.
How we iterated art, how we communicated ideas, and have some fun as artists.
Yeah, that's right. One team, one dream.
All right. Yeah, dude.
Let's just see what the other ones were, just so we're sure.
Yeah.
We got the right ones.
Yeah, let's see. This is Haunted Vampire Hunters. Wow, this is cool.
Could have been good.
Yeah. And Train Ride Murder Mystery.
It could have been like a Clue style, classy. You see like a brim with like a little cigar or pipe or something.
Gonna be a lot of detective costumes.